need to. I'll do it, though. I'll do it one day. I love this section of the song now. Hang on. It's such a kick-ass song. Yeah. And it was so popular, he's like, fuck, let's keep it.
Let's go now. Okay, so, good evening, everyone. Welcome to round 6 coverage from the NPL Women's New South Wales competition for the 2024 season. It's Manly United versus Football New South Wales Institute at this beautiful venue in the Northern Beaches, Cromer Park. Keep going? Yep, it's good.
to the Taylor Field for the NPL New South Wales Women's League Show, the Football New South Wales Institute annual Manly United FC.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a massive day for football on the Northern Beaches, and we at Football New South Wales are delighted to bring this to you today. Thanks for joining us on the Football New South Wales YouTube page via the live tab. Eric Subihano here on the mic in the Cromer Park Grandstand for Manly United versus Football New South Wales Institute. For Manly United, it's a case of building on what was a very nice performance 7 days ago here on this very patch of synthetic turf. A 4-1 victory over Blacktown Spartans. Now, for Tom Hopley's team, the task today is to beat another very young side in Football New South Wales Institute. While for Institute, coached by Lisa Warner, as always, it's a chance for them to go back to winning ways. Their only victory this season was a 3-1 victory over Northern Tigers 2 weekends ago. But they have been close in every game that they have played so far this season, have Football New South Wales Institute. And of course, as the name suggests, they have some of the best young talent, and I do mean young, by the way, in Sydney and the greater Sydney area. So we should be set for a fantastic game of football here today. It's a very big day for the home team, Manly United. It's back to Manly Day. We've had all kinds of football being played here as so many Manly United teams, from SAP to Youth League and now seniors, here at this wonderful complex of Cromer Park. And this really is the culmination of a celebration of everything that is good here about football on the Northern Beaches. For those of you less familiar with the two teams, Manly United are in their traditional dark blue kits, and Football New South Wales Institute, as you'd expect, in the traditional representative colours of New South Wales, the light blue kits. Shout out to the third team in the centre with the whistle, Charlotte Flynn, the assistant nearest to us, Thomas Berry, and the assistant on the far side is Aaron Block. Almost ready to get underway. I will take you through the two starting lineups, or the two sets of starting lineups, possibly at the appropriate break and play, but yes, everyone in position. It's good to see there's a healthy crowd there opposite us at the far post, the bar and bistro that forms part of this Cromer Park facility. And Nicole Simonson launching it straight from the kickoff. Early touch for Sienna Dale, who possibly the only Manly United player who is as young, or out on the field at least right now, that is as young as these Football New South Wales Institute players. Laura Nada going backwards, and I think that is Christina Kachich playing it forward. So Wyszynski stopped by Leah Burton. Now there's the Manly skipper Ruby Jackson, who has given it away, but then, there we go. Ruby Jackson, the captain, leading by example, made a little error and then made up for it within a couple of seconds. Let's take you through the lineups. Firstly, for the host Manly United, in goal, number 1, Nicole Simonson. And their back 4 from left to right. Number 12, Ariela Cabezas. Number 6, the captain, Ruby Jackson. Number 3, Grace Arnold. And number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. We're expecting 3 in midfield. Number 8, Alexia Forner. Number 14, Leah Burton. And number 16, Daisy Arrowsmith, on target twice 7 days ago against the Spartans. And the front 3 is number 9, Emily Minette, who also scored against the Spartans. Actually, here's an early chance, and the loose touch there from Tiana Fuller. It runs out of play, but that could have been an early chance for the visitors. And just to complete Manly's lineup, their front 3, number 9, Emily Minette at centre forward. She also scored against the Spartans. She's flanked on the right by number 7, Gemma Woolley, and on the left by number 17, Sienna Dale. Actually, yes, it didn't take me long for me to make an error. I've already noticed that the Manly formation is a bit different to what I expected. You can see on the ball right now, Ruby Jackson is in midfield, and Leah Burton is in central defence alongside Grace Arnold. Now, good movement from Tiana Fuller. She shoots, and it's wide. Now, for Football New South Wales Institute, their lineup in goal, number 18, Sophia Fante, and their back 4 from left to right, number 48, Alvina Kashaba, number 65, Christina Kachich. I'll hold that thought as there's the cross in and the shot. Good save, but Institute have really come out of the blocks firing. They're the ones that, admittedly, at this early stage of the game, 2 minutes in, they've been doing most of the pressing. Now, Michaela DeWong playing it left, as Kashaba already on the overlap from left back. Phoebe Gilbane taking over for Manly. And now just for Manly United, a case of getting as many touches as possible, keeping the ball away from Institute after the promise that they've shown early on. Arnold looking longer. Sienna Dale beats her marker to the ball, but she's tracked all the way by Annabella Keep. And now Dale starting on the left wing, ends up in the centre circle, and she'll keep going, has some options. She blasts it against Duong, and it rebounds to Cabezas. Now Dale, quick feet, Cabezas, and trying to play the 1-2 with Daisy Arrowsmith. Now, almost breaks for Minette, and Arrowsmith once again trying to keep this attack alive for Cabezas. Presses high, and forces the clearance into touch. So lost 4-1 to RPL Leichhardt. But yes, Amelia Bennett in midfield alongside number 45, Michaela DeWong, and number 41, Amelia Casa. And the front 3 for Institute, number 8, Lauren Nada, number 71, Adelaide Wyszynski, and number 46, Tiana Fuller. Flags up on the far side. I think that's against Gemma Woolley. So, got a bit of time. Let's run through the Manly United substitutes. The backup keeper is Christy Cannon-Gieser. The other options are Corinne Winkler, Bonnie Adams, Emily Basto, Sian Bozanic, and Nicole Stewart. And as I said at the top of the broadcast, Manly United, coached by Tom Hopp. Back underway. Of course, I will run through the Institute subs at an appropriate moment in play. That's a nice header. I think that was Kachich. And she's directed it towards Kashaba, who now plays it over the top. Another Institute attack covered by Phoebe Gilbane. And then Nicole Simonson goes for the safest possible option. She has kicked that well away from the goal and into touch. Institute gradually moving it up the field on the far post side of the field. Kashaba with the throw-in, and Wyszynski goes back to Bennett. Now, I think that's Woolley stepping in. And Minette, who finds herself on the far touchline for now. She's going to put on a little bit of a sprint. Didn't get past the defender, but she's won a throw-in of her own. And, of course, good to see on back to Manly Day. And, in fact, this is pretty much a fixture of all first-grade games here at Cromer Park. Some local youngsters are assigned as ball kids for the occasion, which is something we definitely like to see. Jackson. And back to Gilbane, who goes direct. Too direct from a Manly perspective, and it's an easy catch. An easy catch for Sophia Fante. Then she was aiming for Laura Nada, who, as from what I've seen of Football New South Wales Institute, Laura Nada certainly be a good test for her direct opponent, which appears to be the Manly left back, Ariela Cabezas. Keep gets it back from Casso. Now Kacic to the other central defender, who is also her captain, Zante Juric. Kashaba going long, and it ends up in Nicole Simonson's gloves. Simonson, I think she was aiming for Sienna Dale with that. And Cabezas also aiming for Dale with that pass. Now, there's the signal from Charlotte Finn, the universal signal for she got the ball there, but the ball ends up with Institute anyway, and Wyszynski's running through the middle. Flag's up. The flag is up, so that wouldn't have counted anyway, but there's a nice run there from Wyszynski off the ball, and Wyszynski, a player with experience with the Junior Matildas, Australia's under-17 team there, and now looking to make an impression, or more than an impression, so to speak, on Manly's defence this afternoon. About 7 minutes played here at Cromer Park. If you just joined us, Eric Subihano on the mic here for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. And the score is 0-0 between Manly United and Football New South Wales Institute. So for Manly United, 3 wins and a draw from their opening 5 games, 10 points, and they're sitting very nicely in 3rd position after 5 rounds. Of course, Tom Hopley's team really shocked the competition on the opening day. They scored about as early as you can score, within 30 seconds of their very first game of the season, and that goal from Nicole Stewart was enough to defeat the defending premiers and the defending Sapphire Cup holders, Apia Leichhardt. It was a real statement that the Queens of the Beach has made it Leichhardt Oval at the start of last month, and they have really, in a sense, gone on with it. They've also followed that up with victories over Northern Tigers, their near neighbours, and, as I said last week, over Blacktown Spartans. Grace Arnold under pressure, and the pressure forces the turnover now. You see Ruby Jackson, who really has shown her versatility for Manly United, playing in central midfield, at least today, but she did play at least a little bit in central defence last week when Manly played the Spartans, if I remember correctly, and she knew exactly what she needed to do when Grace Arnold went on a run. Jackson stepped in to cover the space, and she was able to stop that Institute attack. Goes back to keep. And keep. Going to be going backwards 1-2 if that makes sense. And the backwards passes allow Manly to step up. Now, Institute trying the left side. That's Tiana Fuller. She's played it off Gilbane. Gilbane is quick enough, and now, well, she opts not to go for the safe option. And then Nicole Simonson ends up clearing it over the sideline. Now, Charlotte Flynn not happy, I think, with the position in which that throw-in was taken. And by the way, actually, let's go through the Institute subs before I forget. So, available to Lisa Warner, should she choose to use a couple of subs. It's Claire Corbett, Lana El Cordy, Gabriella White, Elise Opadesano, Maria Savalias, and Anita Zordan. Of course, I did say it was back to Manly Day in the intro, so this is there's been games here at Cromer Park all day, and immediately after this game at 5 p.m, it's the men's first grade game, NPL Men's New South Wales, between Manly United and Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. So that'll be an excellent game as well, and a bit of serendipity on back to Manly Day, because we could take that literally for Western Sydney Wanderers head coach Andrew Christensen, who spent a decade here, the coaching staff at Manly United, and is now back at a ground he called home for many years, but this time as a visitor. And Andrew Christensen, his Western Sydney Wanderers Academy, leading NPL Men's New South Wales, so he's certainly done a great job following on from the good work Andrew Christensen did at Central Coast Mariners Academy. But enough of those youngsters, because here's Manly's own youngster, Sienna Dale. Good, strong run, and now the support comes from Cabezas. She delivers. Woolley trying to touch it. I think she was looking for Manette. Instead, it's Kachich with the half clearance. Now Gilbane finding Woolley, who's pulled out wide and taken Urich with her. Gilbane goes right into the middle. She got a touch on it, and then before Manette could finish off the scraps, it is cleared over the sideline. So there, that'll please the home side a bit more. After that early institute pressure, that was a nice move there from Manly United. Now, it's a move down the right side from Institute. Could be a big chance here, and it's off the inside of the post. It rolls across the goal line and somehow does not go in. How was that not the opening goal? The cross there from Amelia Casa from the right. She missed the first player, but I think that was Tiana Fuller who had found space at the far post. She bit Nicole Simonson. She didn't quite get the deflection she wanted off the inside of the post, and agonizingly not into the net. Football New South Wales Institute were millimetres away from opening the scoring. Kachich stepping past Manette and beating the initial part of the Manly United press. Now Bennett, and they've got two over on this side, including Kashaba, who's gotten forward from left back. Little cut back to Fuller. And Fuller goes for goal, and it's parried up and onto the roof of the net by Simonson. But that's the first corner of the game, and it goes to Institute. By the way, maybe I check my phone too much during games, but I do believe, shout out to Mel Keith, who I do believe appears to be watching this game because she's shown her support for a player she's coached in futsal, Alvina Kashaba, that down at MacArthur Quake. So thanks for your support of Football New South Wales YouTube, Melanie. Corner comes in, and that's not going to threaten the Manly United goal. Now, this is the earliest NPL Women's New South Wales kickoff today, but there was a game yesterday at the Arctic Circle, the ground lovingly known as the Arctic Circle, of course. Northwest Sydney Spirit, the home side, drew 1-1 with Sydney Olympic. I think testing the memory here, but Spirit's goal coming from the penalty spot via Claire Holder, and Olympic found a second half equaliser through Demi Koulizakis. Good strong header from Kachich, but I think that was Casa, possibly, had not gotten back. Oh, no, sorry, Wyszynski, my apologies. Wyszynski hadn't gotten back onside in time, so the flag goes up via the assistant on the near side. Now, Well, there's two Institute players there, but neither of them control it. Minette finds the ball. Here's Gemma Woolley. Big chance. And she hits the synthetic turf. And it's ruled that it was a clean challenge by Charlotte Flynn. But a real scare for the kids there. Great ball, great vision from Emily Minette. She disguised the pass. And I have to say, that's a wonderful last-ditch tackle to stop Manly's number 7 from getting a shot away on the edge of the 6-yard box. Going against Sienna Dale, ruled to be a bit too, shall we say, enthusiastic while challenging for that header. There is Nada, and Sienna Dale, well, unfazed by giving away the free kick. She's back again to press, to push Nada backwards. Now, there's the shout there from Sophia Fante. And she's cleared it towards the far post. In the end, Gilbane unable to keep it in play. Yes, as I said, we already have had one game in this round, NPL Women's New South Wales. The 1-1 draw at the Arctic Circle between Spirit and Olympic yesterday. But there's the rest of the games being played in this round, round 6 being played today. So there's a 4 p.m. kickoff at Leichhardt Oval between RPL Leichhardt and Northern Tigers. That's called by Twitch streaming expert William Constantinidis. Then at the slightly odd time of 4:40 p.m. at Northbridge Oval, it's Bulls FC Academy versus Gladesville Ravens. That'll be called by Annabelle Banfield. Then the rest of the three remaining games kicking off at 5 p.m. today. Firstly, Emerging Jets versus MacArthur Rams, called by Ashley Borg. University of New South Wales versus Illawarra Stingrays from the Village Green. And there's Blacktown Spartans versus Sydney University, called by the man himself, the Serbian Martin Tyler, Nikola Poster. And there's also the match of the round from League One Women's, the second tier. That's today as well. That's at 5:30 p.m. from Jensen Park. Bankstown City versus Hills United. What a game that is in League One Women's. Bankstown City, the league leaders, hosting second place Hills United. Melissa Muscat on the call there, and she has a great game in store for her, starting at 5:30 p.m. Of course, you can watch all of those games the same way you're watching this one via the live tab on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Forner is the scramble. Now Bennett from long range. It's a simple save for Simonson. Simonson looking for Dale. It's kind of at an awkward height. Dale did well to prevent the throw-in. And now she's given Emily Minette something to chase. Minette will get to this ahead of Kachich. She needs a supporting run. Woolly's trying to provide it as quick as she can. Here's a step over. And Minette cuts it back. It'll break for Daisy Arrowsmith, edge of the box. And Arrowsmith. Now she goes for goal, and it's Kashaba using her head literally, but good positioning from the Institute left back, blocking that Arrowsmith shot. Now Gilbane going left-footed. Minette has found a little bit of space, but the space closes down very quickly, and the end result is a goal kick. So good work there from the Institute defenders to double up on Minette once it looked a little bit dangerous for them. Actually, well, there is one more stream from today I should promote. Of course, I mentioned earlier this is the first part of a women's and men's first grade doubleheader here at Cromer Park. So the second part of that on the same pitch. Immediately after this one, 5 p.m. kickoff between Manly United and Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. And I will lucky enough to be on the mic for that one as well. So 2 games back-to-back, not much break between them. And I'm very glad that I brought some lozenges today. And if they keep asking me to do stuff like this, might need to get some kind of sponsorship deal with the throat lozenge company, but that's probably a task for later on in the season. See in front of us, possibly off frame, the first time that the Manly United subs will warm up today, although it's quite a warm day here at Chroma, although possibly not in the shade where of course the two sets of substitutes are. Now Duong trying to get past Gilbane, goes left, and there's the cross, which is easy for Simonson. Now you can see when Institute build those attacks, Manly bringing everyone back except Emily Manette. And I think recognizing that there was only one player up for them, Nicole Simonson just waited before kicking it forward. And Institute wary of the threat Emily Manette possesses. She scored 3 times this season already. Clearance from Cabezas there. And so Institute, when they're attacking, are still leaving 3 players back just to guard Emily Manette and try and stop or slow down any counterattacks that Manly might come up with today. That appears to be the way they're approaching it at this stage. It's an interesting ball, but that will run away from Kashaba and out for a goal kick. Now, of course, I mean, whenever I'm calling a game, I'd always encourage you to stick to the end. Why would I tell you to switch over? But especially with this, the Manly United women's team, there's a very good chance you'll see something exciting towards the end of the game. They have scored after the 80th minute in each of their last 3 games. There's Nicole Simonson with some adventure there to step past the tackle, and Grace Arnold trying to avoid having to clear it long. So it's now made its way to Cabezas. She is looking for Forno. Instead, that's Amelia Bennett in possession. Perhaps not a passage of play that the more those here at Chroma Park with a more nervous disposition, shall we say. Perhaps they won't want to see that kind of stuff too often. Now Dale. Dale closed down by Nada. Dale again, ping for another free kick, and set piece opportunity for Institute. Taken by Bennett. Floats it in, and that's header is a little bit sideways from Jackson. So it's Kashaba on the far touchline. The 1-2 with Duong. Kashaba. And Gemma Woolley back defending, helping out Leah Burton. Conceding the throw-in. Institute, you have to say, as a team, not known for long throw ability, so yes, it does stay short. And now Kashaba, not much room, but she's tried to get across in there. Didn't quite work out, though. Cabezas strong in the tackle and wanted the throw as well, but it does go the way of Institute. As Juric assesses her options on the halfway line, Minette steps up to press. And so Juric passes it to Kacic. The two Institute centre-backs keeping it with each other for the time being. Fuller's dropped a little bit deeper. You can see Duong's running behind, and that's what Kashaba spotted. There's the defending from Jemauli blocking that pass. Now it's a promising run here, and I think it was Casa who pulled into a little bit of space. Instead, I think the ball was aimed towards the far post. And that, at the end, will be a corner. Which I believe, by my very manual count, is Institute's second of this afternoon's game. None as yet. No corners as yet for Manly United. There's the signal. There's a few plays in that 6-yard box, and then it doesn't go direct into the 6-yard box. Kashaba's one-on-one with Dale. A back heel, and then strong tackle from Dale. This time, Manly's number 17 wins the free kick. It's kind of between Minette and Duong. At Institute, the light blue jerseys went out against the dark blue jerseys. There's the ball out. Oh, Gilbane's. Okay, she found herself in a nice position to intercept. There's someone here. Well, hold that thought as it's a steal from Arrowsmith, and she was looking for Sienna Dale, who'd gotten a jump on her marker, but instead the ball has gone to Sophia Fante, the Institute goalkeeper. Yes, sorry, I was just a bit distracted by someone revving their engine in the background. Now, Cabezas towards Dale, who couldn't return the favour. And Sienna Dale getting a lot of action. Here's Sienna Dale in this opening 20 minutes or so. But as of yet, hasn't really had the chance to run at defenders in the final third, which is what she's great at. And with Sienna Dale, if you've been following NPL New South Wales socials, as Nicole Simonson clears it into the Peeler building. So you rarely get a game. You rarely get a game here at Cromer Park without a ball being cleared over that fence. And presumably some Manly United employee tomorrow will have to knock on Peeler's door and ask for their ball back. Nada. Now, I kind of had to hedge my bets with Institute's number 8 because they do say number 8 is Lauren Nada. Now, I can see the name on the back of the jersey as that's crosses blocked by Gilbane. Can't quite see what it says. It's definitely got more letters than are in Nada. So now I'm a little bit hesitant, although I did think someone just called her Lauren in that recent phase of play. So we'll go with that for now. We'll go with what was entered into dribble. Might have to double check that at halftime with someone from Institute if I can. But as Lisa Moreno very kindly sends a ball to the field so we can get going again. It's, flags up. So Manly held their line well, and I think that's Kashaba. Left backs don't get caught offside that often, but that's what happened to Kashaba just then. Burton. And she was looking for Arrowsmith, and then Arrowsmith played it down the line. Minette was the closest of her teammates to it. Institute have regained possession. I'm going to really listen to see how Institute number 8 is communicated with. I still think it's Laura Nada, but there's a little bit of doubt based on the name on the back of her jersey, which definitely does not say Nada. Anyway, that's a problem for later. There's Kachich and then Annabella Keep, back to the keeper Sophia Fante, and you can see Manly just stepped off for now, and I think the sun does. Players will be grateful for the sun ducking behind a cloud to cool things nicely, and as Simon said, well, it won't matter. She would have got to it anyway, but the flag's up. The flag is up from Thomas Berry on the near side. Yes, that's perfect conditions for football now that the sun is hiding behind a cloud. Minette goes short to take the throw from Gilbane. Now finds herself pinned up against the far touchline. Gets past, I think that was Urich. And then half clearance, Gilbane now into the middle. Plenty of options. It's going to be over Sienna Dale, and a nice catch from Fante. And then before that Institute counter-attack can really get going, Ruby Jackson gets in the way, plays it over the sideline. Of course, having all the young players here today has provided a reminder. Of course, if you, perhaps for those of you less aware about the Football New South Wales Institute program, it's an under-18 program, so it's players born 2006 or later. And if I have to feel old when thinking about that, so do the rest of you. But a lot of these players will be, or actually a few of these players on the field today will be vying for selection to the Asia Under 17 Championships. Asia Under 17 Championships for women. That's next month. Australia has qualified for that. Manly Sienna Dale's definitely hoping to be selected when that squad will be announced in the coming weeks. But also a fair few Institute players, at least in this matchday squad, also trying to earn a ticket to that tournament, which Australia's first game is on the 7th of May, and that is in Indonesia. So, I mean, as far as Asian travel goes, won't be too much for the junior Matildas. But looking at the names of those that have been recently selected, we've got Michaela Duong, Tiana Fuller. Of course, they're on the field today, as is Sophia Fante, Alvina Kashaba, Christina Kachich. They all have received at least one call-up in the last 12 months, so they'll be hoping to earn selection in the Junior Matilda squad for next month's Asian Under-17 Championships. And by the way, Australia will be facing China, Japan, and Thailand in the group stage of that competition. They'll be playing their group stage games on the 7th, 10th, and 13th of May. So that's certainly some very tough opposition. As Burton assesses options, plays it to Arrowsmith. Now Dale getting the pressure from Nada. Lots of pressure. Has won the free kick, and in fact, it's going to be the first yellow card of the game, going to Laura Nada. That's pretty straightforward. Laura Nada, I mean, she got there as quick as she could, but it still wasn't quick enough. That was definitely a foul. Cabezas. And Minette wants the pass. Instead, it goes to Dale, who's drifted inside. And Dale, and she was clipped. Yes, she was. That's the decision from Charlotte Flynn. And Sienna Dale. It's a very productive 60 seconds or so for Sienna Dale, inducing 2 fouls and 2 yellow cards. So I think that's Christina Kachich, number 65. Has gone into the notebook. In fact, let me just check the stream, which is about... Yeah, I think that's Christina Kacic. That's at least that's what we'll have to go with. Now, more important matters. It's this set piece, and the Manly players have left Alexia Fauna to this, and there's 4 in the wall, but Manly trying to put off Sophia Fante, the keeper, by adding their own wall to block her vision. Here's Fauna, and then it takes an awkward hop. It's not caught, and then Emily Minette has put it wide. As Minette took a tumble under pressure from Fante. She tried to gather the loose ball. But, yeah, I suppose you could say that little 2-person wall from Manly, it did its job in terms of putting off the keeper. It wasn't a clean catch. And Emily Minette unable to add to her 3-goal tally for the season. Now Wyszynski surrounded by 3 Manly players. And ends up with Dale, and then Dale, nice quick feet, get away from Wyszynski. Actually, well, I was looking at the Australia Under-17 Women's National Football Team Wikipedia page. Adelaide Wyszynski's name not on that list of call-ups in the last 12 months, but yes, she has received a call-up at some point in this cycle. From roughly 2 years ago when preparations began for next month's Asian Under-17 Championships, and hopefully, if all things goes well, the Under-17 Women's World Cup. Arnold, getting the touch off Amelia Casso there, and winning the throw-in for Manly. But yes, Adelaide Wyszynski, another player who has had some national team experience, and she'll be looking to throw her name into the mix for that tournament in Indonesia next month. Minette putting the pressure on Kacic, and looked a bit funny off the boot, but had enough zip on it to make its way back to Sophia Fante. Strong header from Cabezas, and then it breaks for Fauna. Here's Burton. Now Gilbane. And she's clipped by Kashaba. And I think, judging by Charlotte Flynn's body language, that's not going to be a card. But yes, Gilbane definitely clipped there. Now, it's Kacic with the header there. Will it break for Woolley? Yes, it does. Just inside the box. Trying to turn past the challenge. The second defender comes. Now Minette helps it on. Sienna Dale, and she goes for goal. And that was blocked by Annabella Keep, but the home team had to wait almost 39 minutes. Eventually, they do get their first corner of the game. There's some more enthusiastic throttle usage in the background. Now, corner coming up, I think that's Cabezas. And she delivers. It's going towards the further side of the penalty area. A 50-50 header with Burton. I don't think she got the ball cleanly, but she did enough. Back into the middle from Jackson. Now Arrowsmith. Cabezas, who of course stayed on this side of the field. Well, actually, she's always on this side of the field, at least in the first half. But now she's overlapping. And Dale uses the run as a dummy, cuts inside. Now she goes direct for goal, and Sienna Dale hits the bar. Well, Dale scored an absolute worldie last week. You'd have seen that if you keep a close eye on NPL New South Wales socials. That one was with the left foot, and Sienna Dale scored from about 25 yards against Blacktown Spartans 7 days ago. This time she tried with the right foot, and she's hit the woodwork just like Institute did in the early moments. Now, of course, the ball furthest as far away from us as it can be really in this phase of play, but it's in the perfect position for viewing if you're watching it on the deck at the far post. And I must say, I do love it. A licensed venue inside the ground, inside an NPL ground. think it's the only one. Oh, well, hold that thought as that's a great ball for Tiana Fuller, and she's 1-1. Simonson felt like she couldn't hold on to it, so she slapped it away from danger. Now Fuller trying to lob the keeper, and she's also lobbed her own teammate. A good run there from Amelia Casa, who saw there might be an opportunity to score at the far post. Good vision from Fuller, but the cross just a little bit too high. And then Amelia Bennett as well heading towards the far post. Not the bar, the far post for the cross. And she couldn't reel that ball in either. Now Sienna Dale has found some space inside, and the kind of ball goes outside, and it will be a turnover. That's Fuller. No chance of getting to that before Simonson. Now the press is coming, but Jackson able to turn anyway. She's pressured by Bennett. And now there's Burton finding Gilbane. Gets it back. That's nice. They've got it towards halfway with Gemma Woolley. Now Ara Smith, and then Gilbane had continued to run, but instead it was Minette closest to it and blocks the clearance from Kachich. And Manly will get a throw in a good position now. That's a good endeavour from Emily Minette. Is there a goal before halftime for either side? One that would change the halftime team talks for Tom Hopley and Lisa Warrener. Well, it won't happen at least in this phase of play. As Institute see it out. See out that attacking throw Manly had without letting the ball go into the box. But Manly might get another go here as Gilbane goes back to Arnold, and then Arnold overcooks it. She was looking for Leah Burton. And that's a foul against Manly United. And Burton stepping in there ahead of the attacker, but then it's coughed up. And nice swift passing between Duong and Kashaba. Now Duong tries to find Kashaba's overlapping run. I think that was Arrowsmith. Actually, if my vision is correct, that's a big if, admittedly, but Arrowsmith, one of Manly's attacking players, ended up reading the play brilliantly and defending well, which as Manly try to battle the Institute high press once more. Burton goes longer. And then, as I think Juric with a foot in there, finding the other captain, Jackson, who then will send it straight back to Juric. Minette's tried to make something of it there. That ball didn't go out, and Minette's beaten the first tackle. Now, what are her options? Minette, that's foot in there from Kachich. Now, long-range effort from Woolley, and it's wide of the target. Into the final minute of regulation time for this first half. And still 0-0 here between Manly United and Football New South Wales Institute. And, of course, with no fourth official, we'll have to guess how much time added on there will be, but I can't imagine there'd be too much of that. As first half has been played at a good tempo and in a good spirit, has to be said, despite the 2 yellow cards. I think not a game played with any real malice, just Sienna Dale being very quick in drawing those 2 yellow cards. Here she is on the ball again. Dale's into the box, and I think just outnumbered by light blue jerseys there. Casa, followed by Arnold, who's broken it up. Now Nada. Nada managed to get the touch off Manly, but Charlotte Flynn is not going to let them take the throw-in from that position. Now that the ball broke for Arnold, and then Arnold ran into a little bit of trouble here. And Nada once again playing the ball down the line and finding the touch off a Manly player. That will be that. Charlotte Flynn blows the whistle. And it's the end of the first half here in round 6 NPL Women's New South Wales action.
Ladies and gentlemen, to head down to the canteen for drinks and refreshments, and the far post will be open throughout today's proceedings. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, of course, it is our annual Back to Manly Day, where we recognise and celebrate our past. And welcome back to Cromer Park for all our past players, coaches, administrators and supporters. Whether they'll park Manly United, Manly Warringah, Warringah Freshwater, Warringah Dolphins, North Shore United or even Nalanda. Welcome back to Cromer Park, and we hope you enjoyed today.
Yeah, so halftime here at Cromer Park. It's 0-0 between Manly United and Football New South Wales Institute. Tiana Fuller hit the woodwork in the very early moments for Institute, and that was matched when Sienna Dale hit the crossbar in the dying minutes of the first half. But it's 0-0 here, still goalless. Looking forward to the second half, but this is Eric Subihano here on the mic for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We'll take a break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll resume our coverage of Manly United versus Football New South Wales Institute. See you in a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, a special announcement that we will be having representatives now from our GSAP program for the women in the 10s and 11s now playing a small-sided game out in front of you now. So a round of applause for our participants from the Manly GSAP program. deserves. Featuring our very own Johnny Hall, Upstate have one goal for you, to help you find yourself in a better place. So give Upstate Real Estate a call on 9971 1000 or visit www.upstate.com.au. Upstate Real Estate, proud partners of your Manly United FC. Now, quick announcement for everyone here. If for all Manly United players, boys and girls, you are reminded that we will be taking a whole of top photo at the end of the NPL New South Wales women's game here. When it's at 4:30, can you please start to make your way to the ambulance entrance next to the dressing rooms at 4:30 p.m. All Manly United players, boys and girls, reminded that we will be taking a whole of top photo at the end of the women's first grade game. Can you please make your way to the ambulance entrance next to the dressing rooms at 4:30 p.m.
Hello, welcome back to Football New South Wales coverage, the second half of this Round 6 NPL Women's New South Wales game between Manly United and Football New South Wales Institute is underway. Eric Subihana here with the commentary from Cromer Park. And it's a lovely sunny day. As you can tell from the shadow that the Cromer Park grandstand, the new Lucas Neal stand is setting now or as I'm showing now on this pitch, but actually was on the pitch just for a brief time during the halftime break. It doesn't appear to be too warm out there, so the stage is set for some good football here in this second half as these two teams try and break the deadlock. So I was scanning the shirt numbers. I can tell that Manly United have not made a sub at half-time, so Tom Hopley still can use a maximum of 5 subs in this second half. I'm just scanning the Institute shirt numbers to see if the same is the case for today's visitors. So there's different light levels here today from the cloud cover we saw earlier. And as Gemma Woolley goes out of the shadow, back into the sunshine, she assesses her options. Low to the near post, and that is away. Foreigner as Gilbane is kind of the option. She went centrally to vacate this, to occupy the space that Foreigner left. And there's good movement from Manly's number 2. Now, Jackson and Cabezas. Sienna Dale, they double up on her, but she gets it to Minette. And back to Dale, overlapping run. Instead she goes more centrally. Foreigner. Now Gilbane lobs it up towards Minette, and Minette tries to help it on, and the right idea, but the header is off target. Fonte has just opted against the short goal kick. It's the more conventional long goal kick. Fonte sending it towards halfway. And then it's Jackson back to Arnold. It goes back to the Manly keeper, Nicole Simonson. Simonson sending it long, and that'll be too long for Gemma Woolley. Perhaps just a reminder of the lineup that's out there for Manly United. It's the same 11 players that began the game. So in goal, number 1, Nicole Simonson. And their back four from left to right. Number 12, Ariella Cabezas. Number 14, Leah Burton. Number 3, Grace Arnold. And number 2, Phoebe Gilbane. 3 in midfield, the captain, number 6, Ruby Jackson. Number 8, Alexia Forner. And number 16, Daisy Arrowsmith, who's, by the way, Manly's top scorer for the season with 4 goals. And Manly's front 3. Number 9, Emily Minette at centre forward. That's going to go onto the roof of the net. And on the right wing, number 7, Gemma Woolley. On the left wing, number 17, Sienna Dale. So I'd say 98% sure that Institute have not made a sub at half-time. But just kind of double-checking that a few players are still on the field. And I might confirm, or might go remind you of their 11 players out there as well. Fuller crossing it into the middle. It's over Amelia Casa, and that'll be comfortable for Simonson, who will probably pick this up as soon as an Institute player gets close enough, actually, now. As he just decides to get on with it instead, which is what we like to see. Yeah, okay, well. Yeah, now I'm almost 100% confident that Institute coach Lisa Moriner has not made any subs during the break, so yes, their lineup, or the players out there for Institute at the moment. Number 18, Sophia Fonte, is in goal. Then the back four from left to right. Number 48, Alvina Kashaba. Number 65, Christina Kacic. Number 63, the captain, Zante Juric. And number 61, Annabella Keep. 3 in midfield. Number 38, Amelia Bennett. Number 41, Amelia Casa. And number 45, Michaela DeWong. And the 3 up front. Number 8, Lauren Nada. Number 71, Adelaide Wyszynski. And at number 46, Tiana Fuller. There's Kachich. Well, she's given Fante something to chase. Fante won't get there, so it's almost what you might call a bonus corner for Manly. And Ariella Cabezas, as she has done, I think, for this game and the game 7 days ago, which I was on the mic for, between Manly and Spartans, which Manly won 4-1. Cabezas on corner kick duty. Now, it's, I think, Arrowsmith and Woolley who are trying to put off Fante, the keeper, crowding her out. A bunch of runners also at the edge of the box. Now they move in, and that's the header downwards from Kachich towards Burton, who keeps it low, and Leah Burton has scored! Or is it? It's actually, they're congratulating Daisy Arrowsmith, who appears to have gotten the deflection required to break the deadlock, and it's Manly 1, Institute 0. And we think that is Daisy Arrowsmith's 5th goal of the season. The player who always seems to be in the right place at the right time has done it again for Manly. And yes, he's just able to go back on the stream. It's brilliant from Daisy Arrowsmith.
The touch was in by number 16, Daisy Arrowsmith. Manly United 1, Football New South Wales Institute 0.
Yes, the announcer thinks, and well, Charlotte Flynn not happy with this kickoff, so we'll go for take 2 in just a moment. But back to that goal, yeah, was able to watch the stream. Of course, it's a slight delay on streams, such as the way that the technology works, but it was wonderful movement from Daisy Arrowsmith, finding space, but also onside. And as Burton sent that shot into the mixer, so to speak. Good technique, by the way, from Burton to keep it low. As that shot is high from Bijinski, but Arrowsmith very cleverly deflected that, wrong footing the goalkeeper. Is Manly's number 16 that has given her team the lead. And Institute, there's plenty for them to be hopeful about despite falling behind. They hit the frame of the goal in the first half. And they've certainly given the Manly defence a lot to think about so far. So this one is far from over. Here's the goal scorer, Arrowsmith. Now fighting for possession in the centre circle, and I think that's going to be a foul. Or a foul against Manly. Now, decent run from Duong to the byline, and then it's Burton, cleverly positioned. And she sent that to safety. Minette can't keep it in. Oh, by the way, just checking my messages. Shout out to Football New South Wales referee Jake Rose for offering me a coffee. Thanks, Jake. Well, I should probably respond to him actually instead of responding to him in commentary. I actually had a double espresso before the game because, well, I need it. So I'm just being quiet while I respond to Jake Rose, but it's very nice of him to offer me a coffee. But anyway, back to more important manners than my caffeine needs. It's Sienna Dale looking to cut inside from the left wing, but a tumble and it gives away a free kick. Gilbane turning back. Arnold is the backwards option. She needs to step past the challenge. There's that Institute high press, but they work the passing triangle well with Jackson. And now, very neat first touch from Cabezas. And she finds Arrowsmith. Dale's in space on the far side. Arrowsmith elected not to go further to the left. Now she's waited nicely for Cabezas, and then Dale gets the ball. Cabezas running in beyond. Dale running against Annabella Keep. She's found the space to cut inside. Here's Sienna Dale. She goes for goal, and Fante, strong hands. A little bit of a fumble, but nothing that a Manly player could take advantage of. Institute convinced that it would be theirs. But as they say, there's only one person out there whose decision really matters. That's the referee. And of course, since I gave a shout out to a referee who's not at this game, just because they offered me a coffee, might as well give another shout out to the officials in red in front of us. So yeah, that was Charlotte Flynn with the whistle, and she's been facilitating this game, shall we say, very well. Now Minette's chasing this one, and it might go straight in, and Alexia Fauna almost scored from 50 yards out. It was an awkward one for any goalkeeper. She was thinking Fante stayed on her line because she thought Minette could have gotten a touch. Minette did not. It took a bounce, a big high bounce, and then flicked the top of the crossbar. It's a great cross from Alexia Fauna. I don't know if anyone's ever seen. For those of you that are familiar with Alexia Fauna, I mean, surely I can't be the only person that thinks Alexia Fauna looks like Republic of Ireland women's captain Katie McCabe. That's a very striking resemblance, at least in my eyes. And Alexia Fauna at that time, she was out on the wing, and she certainly hit it with a zing. And the ball hitting the frame with a goal. Nice turn from Wyszynski. Now she's tried to lob the keeper, and it wasn't too far away. The ball kind of swerving away from that far post instead of swerving back towards the middle of the goal. Wyszynski hasn't had too much to work with up front for Institute today, but showing a fair bit of promise with the touches she has got. As Manly United certainly got a lot of work ahead of them if they are to keep a clean sheet. Jackson strong in the 50-50. Now Arrowsmith cruises past the tackle, looks for Dale. And Dale resumes her battle with Annabella Key. While Minette and Woolley are in the middle waiting for any potential cross. Now Dale, was she fouled? Yes, she was. So Dale continues to draw very close attention from the Institute defenders, and also that attention being too close for Charlotte Flynn's liking. So Manly set piece coming up. Now I can see Manly assistant coach, off-frame Manly assistant coach Lockie Panetta. He's got the clip, got the, was it the book of laminated pages? I don't know what they use these days, but giving instructions to, I think, Sian Bozanic and Nicole Stewart. So Tom Hopley might be ready to make a double sub before too long. But first it's the set piece, clipped in, and there's the header from Minette, and it's in. It's a wonderful header from Manly's number 9. She scored with the head again and has doubled the home side's lead. It was a great set piece. Minette shook off the defenders and has put her header well out of Sophia Fante's reach. It is Manly United 2, Football New South Wales Institute 0. And for the 4th game in a row, both Daisy Arrowsmith and Emily Minette have scored. They are the deadly duo for Manly United in 2024. It was an absolutely wonderful header. And a little bit of breathing room for the Queens from the Beaches. They've flown out of the blocks after the halftime break. And this Arrowsmith-Minette combination is terrorizing defences in NPL Women's New South Wales. That appears to have been the case for the last month. And as I say, they were both on the score sheet in Manly's 3-2 away win against Northern Tigers, and a 2-2 away draw against North West Sydney Spirit, last week's 4-1 home win over Spartans, and now Daisy Arrowsmith and Emily Minette on the score sheet once again within 7 minutes of each other, and they put Manly United in a great position. The instructions continue. This one's Tom Hopley clarifying which Sian Bozanic what's required of her when she enters play. Might as well, while we're on that topic, think Sian Bozanic and Nicole Stewart are going to come on fairly soon. The other 4 options available to Manly, should they wish to make changes. Christy Canninggeeser is the backup keeper. The others are Bonnie Adams, Emily Basto, and Corinne Winkler. By the way, giving shout-outs to people off the field near the Manly technical area. Shout-out to long-time Manly United and MW and Manly Warringah FA photographer Jeremy Denham, who always does a fine job with the socials for both the local association here on the Northern Beaches and Manly United Football Club. I did have a brief chat to Jeremy before this game. He'll be providing photographs both for this women's first grade game and the men's first grade game between Manly and Western Sydney Wanderers. That's immediately after this one at 5 p.m. So I think he did tell me he was working for Football New South Wales today. So I'm sure we'll see those, some of those in the next week or so. Double sub coming up.
Substitution for your Manly United FC.
Gemma Woolley and Alexia Fauna leaving the field. It's been a good shift. Good, about an hour or so for both those two. And I think it's both straight swaps. I don't think Tom Hopley has decided to change anything. Yes. Just we'll wait for the grand announcer to figure out that Gemma Woolley and Alexia Fauna are the ones that have made way. But yes, it is Sian Bozanic and Nicole Stewart. The 2 players are coming off.
Alexia Fauna. And coming onto the field is number 5, Nicole Stewart, and number 20 is Sian Bozanic.
Yes. So Sian Bozanic will take Alexia Fauna's role in centre midfield. We'll just hold that thought as there's a chance here. And then Institute wanted a penalty, but Charlotte Flynn unmoved, and Manette's past the defender with an option to her left, which is Sienna Dale. Manette decides to keep it central and has clipped Kachicha's heels. That'll be a free kick. Yeah, just after that, it opened up suddenly for Tiana Fuller. Phoebe Gilbane coming across just in time from a Manly perspective and stopping that Fuller run, legally, according to the referee. Now Bozanic sends it up towards the centre circle. Kachich trying to return it with interest. Now Jackson, very close to Wyszynski. Wyszynski's gotten the ball though. Here's Duong, who lets fly. And okay, Duong trying the shot with very little backlift. The shot favoured by futsal players. Didn't quite get the zip on it to trouble Simonson that time. Stewart, who by the way looks to be the direct replacement for Gemma Woolley on the right side of that Manly United front three. Denied, I think, what I think would have been her first touch in this game by some good Institute defending. Now it's Juric getting forward from centre back. Now that's a nice move, and then it just runs away from Kashaba at the end. By the way, in case you're not as familiar with this facility here at Cromer Park, I can tell you that the field is not dusty. That's cork, just the thing they used to as a kind of a base layer for kind of the newer synthetic pitches. So it's not dirt or dust or sand. That's near Phoebe Gilbane right now. Of course, with all the torrential rain we had on Friday, some of that cork would have washed away, so it's good to see it's been replaced in time for Back to Manly Day as Juric clears it over the sideline. Manette did not walk the tightrope that time, couldn't keep it in play. Of course, might as well just remind you of the 6 substitutes available to Institute. A maximum of 5 of them will be able to come onto the field before this game is done. Another run over for a goal kick, run over the line for a goal kick, but yeah, Institute's 6-player bench: Claire Corbett, Lana El Cordy, Gabriella White, Elise Opatisano, Maria Savalias, and Anita Zordan. Institute going back to start again. Juric forward, and now Gilbane taking it the other way, crossing halfway. Now Stewart as a willing runner into space. Stewart might need to wait for support here. She delivers and couldn't quite wrap her boot around it, but it's a nice first run since coming onto the field for Nicole Stewart. Now, appears to be Lauren Nada with what was looking like a promising run. Stopped by Bozanic, and now she might find the other Manly substitute, Nicole Stewart. So Juric sprinting across the cover. Nice tackle there, and she's won the throw-in as well, playing it off Stewart. So good work from Zante Juric. Now, I'm not quite sure of this, but I am pretty sure. So, those of you who know either your ex-Australian football players or your current A-League women coaches, the surname Juric will be very familiar to you. Of course, I am, of course, referring to Ante Juric, the coach for Sydney FC's A-League women's side. What a player he was, by the way, Ante Juric. And I mean, if they are related, Ante and Xanthi, well, he's certainly showing in some of the play that we've seen, in some of the tackling that we've seen from Xanthi, this afternoon.
Substitution.
So, Anita Zordan looks to be coming on for Christina Kacic.
72, Anita Zordan.
Now, I'm going to shuffle the players around because Anita Zordan has come on to what appears to be the right wing. Yeah, I can see enough of that number. Christina Kacic.
Christina Kacic.
Zordan has not gone to central defence. So, yeah, we'll try and clarify how Lisa Warren has chosen to reshuffle her Institute side as they chase this game. But Zordan getting an early touch. Now into the middle, it's over Gilbane. And now Tiana Fuller back into the mixer, and Ruby Jackson gets it away from danger. So now Sienna Dale, well, we've got a lot of speed, so Lauren Nada's got to hurry here. And Nada, yeah, just going safety first. There you go. You can see the willingness from Sienna Dale, even though she didn't touch the ball there. So all of a sudden, Manly've got some kind of an attacking set piece with this throw, and they can all step up. It looks like Annabella Keep, number 61, has moved into Institute central defence alongside Xantha Juric. Looks like Lauren Nada's now at right back, which would mean, if I've read it correctly, that Anita Zordan's on the right side, the right wing, as an Institute attacker. Now Minette gets the touch. It is Jackson. Good save. Minette trying to follow up. Keeps in the way. And it's cleared out of the box. Nice save from Sophia Fante. Ruby Jackson making the run from a defensive midfield position. Timed it to perfection to make sure she was onside. Denied by an excellent save from Fante. Time flies when you're having fun. Bit surprised to look at the scoreboards on top of the canteen building. So there's about 20 minutes to go. Missed either of the goals. Can clarify that Manly United leading Football New South Wales Institute by 2-0. Daisy Arrowsmith opened the scoring in the 52nd minute, cleverly redirecting Aaliyah Burton long shot. And then Emily Minette just before the hour mark with a wonderful header. She made it 2-0. Manly United in very nice position heading into the final 20 minutes. Stewart preventing Fuller getting in the cross from deep. Good block. And Nicole Stewart, a player who has started a lot of games for Manly United. So she's certainly a good option to bring off the bench for Tom Hopley. Just reminded us, actually, you can see, well, actually, just off frame, I was watching Institute backup keeper Lisa Opatisano while she's gone into the stands, and she's gone into the Chroma Park grandstand. So, well, I reckon we won't be seeing her anytime soon on the field. Gilbane could have been a bit of a sore one, but she's okay. And pressure from Gilbane. It's important, even when you're 2 goals up, not to sit back and draw the opposition onto you. So Tom Hopley will be happy to see his players, even his defenders, being proactive and stepping up when necessary. Charlotte Flynn just telling Alvina Kashava where she wants the throw in to be taken.
If all Man United players, boys and girls, if you can please start making your way to the ambulance entrance next to the dressing rooms, as we will be having a whole club photo to be taken at the end of the women's first grade game. All Man United players, boys and girls, please make your way to the ambulance entrance next to the dressing rooms for the whole club photo to be taken at the end of the women's first grade game.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if our effects mics were able to pick that up, but it's the thing that Manly United like to do on Back to Manly Day, getting as many players as possible from their SAP Youth League and senior programs for a whole of club photo. Jeremy Denham will be the man tasked with taking that photo, and given the logistics involved, better him than me, that's for sure, but it's certainly a nice thing that the club here at Manly United try to do at least once a year. I'm just reminded, thinking of last year's Back to Manly Day, in the women's game, Manly United beat Institute by 2-0 that time as well, so a bit of history repeating itself, although in one sense, the people here will be glad that history is not repeating itself in terms of the weather, because from watching the photos of last year's women's game on Back to Manly Day, it was quite wet. Gilbane keeps it in play, and then it doesn't get the touch, or doesn't get the ricochet to work in her favor. Now, Manette shouting line, line. Stewart obliges. And now Manette is one-on-one with Keep. Gets into the box. Manette might try to go herself. Zante Juric has gotten enough of a boot in the way. Grace stepped in ahead of the attacker and goes from range, but that won't be anything to trouble Sophia Fante. What's the strategy this time for Manly? It's the kind of phase in the game where you do start thinking about game management, trying to see things out as safely as possible and earn those 3 points. I always love to score more goals if you can. So how do Manly kind of balance those two things? There's Jackson into the box, and then Nada tries the shepherd, and Fante just takes over in any case. Works out for Cabezas. Cabezas has some room. Goes left to Dale. Dale going for the first time cross. And it's blocked by Nada, but it will be a corner kick. I do love to go around the grounds. whenever we call games. Hold that thought. There's Cabeza, shields her eyes from the sun. And now delivers this cross. This time it's only Arrowsmith putting off the keeper. And now it goes towards Arrowsmith. There's a punch from Fante before it's cleared. And now Cabezas is swift enough to keep this in play. Stewart for Manly. Jackson bounces it back to Bozanic. Now Gilbane lunged, did her best but couldn't quite reach it. Kashaba takes over. Emily Bastow has the bib off and looks to be the next play coming on for Manly, by the way. Now that breaks for Gilbane. She's got a couple of options with her. Holds off Kashaba. Minette. Institute double up on Minette. Bozanic is the support. And she delivers. So there's a header towards Juric. Now immediately under pressure from Minette. And it's a goal kick. So I'm just watching the Manly bench note. Emily Bastow, I don't think is going to come on just yet. We'll have to wait for the next stoppage. And now, well, Stewart delivered it, the ball towards the middle. Not sure if that's what she was aiming for. Fante possibly put off by the setting sun.
Once
looking
again,
into it.
reminder, ladies and gentlemen, for those that want to
She didn't get a touch on the ball, but
players, boys and girls, please make your way to the ambulance entrance next to the dressing room to be ready for the photo at the end of the Women's NPL New South Wales Women's.
Dale with the ricochet, blocking that, and then be a throw in near her own corner flag for Laurenata. But we're going to see, I think, the second Institute sub of the game. Going to be Lana El-Kordi coming on.
Substitution for the Football New South Wales Institute.
Possibly Adelaide Brzezinski coming off. Am I going to see a number 71 in a moment? Yeah, that's cool. That's good enough for me. Yep. Lana El-Kordi, number 7, on for number 71, Adelaide Brzezinski.
And making away from the field is number 71, Adelaide Brzezinski.
So, just looking at how the Institute players are lined up in this phase of play, maybe Lana El-Kordi now on the left wing for Institute, and Tiana Fuller has moved from the left wing to centre forward. Dale tried to flick it over defender, but Nardis actually shown her versatility, started on the right wing for Institute. Now she's up at right back against a very, very quick attacker, but Nardis kind of held her own in this particular individual battle. So that should please everyone involved with Institute. No, a loose touch, and Minette looking to take advantage, but then just unfortunate bounce as far as Manly were concerned. Emily Bastow still waiting to come on, by the way. From memory, I think every time I've seen Bastow, she's been in midfield, so I do wonder what that means. Although, actually, I don't mind making a wrong prediction. I reckon Emily Bastow comes on for a defender, Bastow goes to midfield, and then Ruby Jackson goes into defence. That's what I think is going to happen. But I'm no coach, but if I was bringing Bastow on, that's what I'd do. Now, nice touch from Kashaba, flicking it over Stewart's head. Jackson sends it over the sideline. Minette, and did that go out? Well, Manly don't think it did, but there's the flag from Thomas Berry, assistant on the near side. Now they try again. Nice back heel from Minette. Stewart and Gilbane charging forward all the way from right back. She'll get to the hiss ahead of Juric. Does she keep it in play? She tried her best, Gilbane. It's a very energetic run. Not quite enough that time. So now we're going to see Emily Bastow coming on. Okay, my prediction was absolutely terrible. It's Emily Minette that's coming off. Emily Bastow. It's going to be the player replacing the player who scored for the last 4 games in a row. So Daisy Arrowsmith looks to have gone to centre forward, so I was right in the sense that Bastow will play in midfield. I just got the reshuffle wrong. Oh well, it's not like I'm the coach of this team, so that's a pretty harmless error. And now Daisy Arrowsmith, you'd assume, going to be seeing out the game at centre forward, so you might think the best possible position to add to her tally of 5 goals for the season. Nada, again, blocking Sienna Dell's path down the touchline. Of course, we do encourage you to stick around on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. As Dale, actually, hold that thought, as Dale has gotten past Nada and then cuts it back inside onto her right foot. Dale goes from an acute angle, saved by Fante at the near post. And yes, immediately after this game at 5 o'clock, it's NPL men's New South Wales first grade action between Manly United and Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. And the Wanderers Academy, led by former Manly United coach Andrew Christensen, top of the NPL New South Wales men's table. It'll certainly be a great game, starting at 5 p.m, although, as you might have heard on the PA, Manly are trying to do a whole-of-club photo involving seniors, youth and SAP players between this game and the men's first grade game, so I do suspect that game might kick off slightly after 5 p.m. Dale's found a pocket of space, drifted inside a little bit, and now looks at her options, goes towards Cabezas, and then that looks to have been shielded out by Zordan. Arrowsmith playing it on for Stewart, and Nicole Stewart, saved with the feet by Fante, got the angle spot on. And a Manly substitute, nearly making it 3 for the home side. We're well into the final 10 minutes now. Arrowsmith takes a tumble, but the call goes against her. Amelia Bennett winning the free kick for Institute. Yes, as I said, we do like to go around the grounds, so just by opening multiple tabs on my browser, looking at the Football New South Wales YouTube page. There's another NPL Women's New South Wales game in progress at what they call the 8th wonder of the world, Leichhardt Oval. RPL Leichhardt currently leading Northern Tigers by 2-1. That game is in the first half. And I also see that the game at Northbridge Oval between Bulls FC Academy and Gladesville Ravens is about to begin. And there'll be 3 more women's games kicking off at about 5 p.m. Those are Emerging Jets versus MacArthur Rams, University of New South Wales versus Illawarra Stingrays, and Blacktown Spartans versus Sydney Uni. Dale heads in left side of the box, and then with the left boot, couldn't repeat her spectacular work from last week. That's a relatively simple save for Fante, who then has kind of split the difference between 2 of her teammates. Sends it over the touchline. Going to be seeing another sub. That looks to be number 35, Gabriella White, coming on. And Gabriella White will be replacing number 45, Michaela Duong.
Substitution for the Football New South Wales Institute. Coming onto the field is number 35, Gabriella White. And making her way from the field is number 45, Michaela Duong.
So, there's that. Well, I think maybe Lisa Warren has gone into kitchen sink mode here, because I think that's midfielder off, attacker on. Looks like Gabriella White's going to be an additional forward in the dying stages for Institute. Just before that recent Institute sub, with all the NPL women's games going that are in progress or about to start. Certainly sport for choice if you want to watch more action from this wonderful competition after this game is over. Bastow holds off Bennett, and then Bennett's done enough to put her off and prevent both the corner kick and the cross into the box. For Manly United's entered this weekend in third place at the table. Very nice position, even at this early stage of the 2024 campaign. Certainly looking like they will keep it this way. If we look ahead, Gilbane sending it towards the Institute Central Defenders. And, this might give Sienna Dale a chance here. Dale has ruled to a foul Nada, so that's Institute getting away with one there, but there you go, Sienna Dale. Getting towards the 90th minute and still ready to pounce on any errors by the opponents. Yes. If we look ahead to Manly, who we'd assume they'd see this out and earn their fourth win in the opening 6 games of the season. But games coming up for Manly United on Sunday the 14th. I imagine it'd be their first ever trip as a senior women's side to the Village Green, where they will play newly promoted University of New South Wales. That's in 7 days' time. Then on Sunday, the 21st of April, they're here at Cromer Park playing Sydney Olympic. On Sunday, the 28th of April, they've got a trip up the motorway to face Emerging Jets at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. And then round 10, Sunday, the 5th of May, they're back at Cromer Park to host the Gladesville Ravens. And I believe all of those games will kick off at 5 p.m. For Institute, in 7 days' time, they will host Gladesville Ravens at Valentine Sports Park. And then Sunday, the 21st of April, they'll remain at Valentine Sports Park to face Emerging Jets in what I like to call the Battle of the Kids. And Sunday, the 20th of April, they'll travel to Camperdown to face Sydney University. And then on Sunday, the 5th of May, they'll make the long trip down to Macedonia Park, Will Institute, to play Illawarra Stingrays. You can see, as you could see, you would have been able to see just behind the goal to our left at the canteen end, the Manly's men's first grade team warming up for the aforementioned men's first grade game coming up at 5 p.m. or possibly a little bit after that between Manly United and league-leading Western Sydney Wanderers and NPL Men's New South Wales. And yes, obviously, you also see the Wanderers warming up behind the goal to our right. Arnold with the foot in there. Bazanej does not beat Nada to the ball. Spins towards Bastow. Nada, another nice tackle. She needs some options. Finds Amelia Bennett. Anita Zordan pointing to where she wants it, and Burton cuts it out. So that's good positioning from Leah Burton into the starting lineup for today's game. Now, Ara Smith battling multiple players, and now just skipped away from Bazanej before she could properly control it. So Nada will slow things down. Into the 90th minute now. There's probably just enough time to give a little plug to next weekend's live streams of the NPL Women's New South Wales competition, which of course you can watch via the live tab on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. That'll be round 7 next weekend. So Saturday the 13th of April, 3 p.m. at the Arctic Circle, Northwest Sydney Spirit versus Bulls FC Academy. That'll be called by the Serbian Martin Tyler, Nikola Pozda. And there's the remaining 6 games from that round on Sunday the 14th of April. Firstly at 4 p.m. on the 14th, Northern Tigers versus Macarthur Rams, called by Annabelle Banfield. Then at 4:45 p.m., Football New South Wales Institute versus Gladesville Ravens, called by a new addition to our commentary team, Mark DePaoli. And then in 7 days' time, 4 women's games at 5 p.m. on the 14th. So firstly, Blacktown Spartans versus RPL Leichhardt. I'll be on the mic from the shipping container at Blacktown Football Park. There's also University of New South Wales versus Manly United from the Village Green. Emerging Jets versus Illawarra Stingrays. It's the NPL Women's New South Wales version of the Distance Derby. That Jets Stingrays game called by Ashley Borg, and then also at 5 p.m. in 7 days' time, Sydney Olympic versus Sydney University at Peter Moore Field. Now we're into stoppage time. Of course, not sure why, but see the ground announcer has stopped the clock, so stoppage time must remain a mystery. I suppose if the game's close and people start watching the ticking clock and putting pressure on the referee, I suppose that's probably fair enough to stop the clock at 90 minutes. Now Gilbane, another run to support the attack to try and keep it going. Tries to step over, heads to the byline, and keep more strong defending, so she's done pretty well since shifting from right back to the center of Institute's defense, but she has conceded a corner. Perhaps one last chance for Manly to add some gloss to this scoreline. Once again, Ara Smith, the Nooses player, in front of the keeper, Sophia Fante. In fact, Manly staying pretty aggressive. Grace Arnold's kind of near the center circle, but still in front of it. Then you've got Leah Burton and Emily Bastow guarding the space between the center circle and the penalty box. But everyone else is attacking this delivery from Cabezas. And now there's the shot from Gilbane, and it's in! Phoebe Gilbane has put the cherry on the sundae for Manly United. The delivery from Ariella Cabezas was right on the money.